VPN connection to your workspace. So I'm going to click next, and I'm going to use internet in order for me to connect to my my server. So under the internet address, as I said, I'm going to use a local VPN in order for me to test out and show you how to configure the VPN. But basically this will work with an internet address in order for you to hit the VPN server. So I'm going to specify my local address, which is 192.168.142.26. And you can name the VPN connection. I'm going to name that work VPN. And from here you have different options to remember the credentials or allow other people, which is not really secure. So I'm going to just create the VPN connection. And now that I've created the VPN connection, there is a thing that I like to do basically, and that is when I create a VPN connection, in order for the users not to use the default gateway of my environment, I go ahead and deselect an option which is right here under the advanced TCP/IP settings, which is use default gateway on remote network. So I'm going to deselect that, click OK, OK. Okay, so now Jesse is set up to connect to my VPN server. So I'm going to double click on that. Of course you can go ahead from here and it will show the VPN work connection that we did, and it will open basically the same window where you can connect to that VPN. So I'm going to specify the account for Jessie Thompson and her password and click OK. So now it's basically saying that it cannot connect to the work VPN, and it's saying that the remote access connection was denied because the username and password combination you provided is not recognized, or the selected authentication protocol is not permitted on the remote server. Actually, the main problem with that is I did not added Jesse to the allowed users to make a VPN connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my domain controller, and I'm going to open Jesse's account and allow her to make a connection on the VPN. Before I switch to my domain controller, I just want to show you a basic troubleshooting step that it's a good idea for you to perform in order to find out what is preventing the users from connecting to your server. So I'm going to open Event Viewer, and when I expand the Windows logs and go under System, I will see that I have warnings, and these warnings, when I click on them, I can see that the account user for James Thompson connected on port VPN does not have remote access privileges. So this is a basic troubleshooting guide that can help you resolve issues with your VPN server. For example, here you will find when a user and an internet provider is blocking the GRE packets 47 from their environment, the PPTP pass-through, they will show here as a warning message, and you will know that this is the problem with the user. Now that I'm on my domain controller, I'm going to open Tools and then Active Directory Users and Computers, and under my NLB Lab domain and my OU NLB Solutions, I have an OU Users with Jesse Thompson's account. So I'm going to right click and open Properties of that account, and when I go in the tab Dial In, I will see that the first option, the network access permissions, is currently set on control access to the MPC network policy. Basically, I don't have an NPC server, network policy server at the moment to detect and see if my users are compliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the allow access for the J Thompson user and click apply. So now when I go to my Windows 10 machine and click close to that message and try to connect again with her account and the password, I will see that the connection worked, and I'm currently connected to the NOB lab environment with VPN connection. So I can see that I'm currently using the PPTP port, which I want to see, and if I run a CMD and open that and show the IP config settings, I will see that the PPP adapter work VPN currently gave me the IP address of 192.168.142.231, which is the first address that I gave to my VPN users when they connect to my environment. So I can see that, and I can confirm that my VPN server is up and running, and my users can connect to my corporate environment using that. So this ends up the demonstration of how you can install and configure VPN server in Windows 2012 R2. I hope you liked the video. If you like it, press the like button. If you don't like it, press the dislike button and give me a comment what can be improved, so I can take this into consideration. Thank you very much for viewing, and see you soon.
Hi, my name is Miguel from avoiderrors.net. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up a VPN server using Windows Server 2012. For this, I'm going to divide the tutorial in 3 sections: setting up the server, setting up the firewall, and setting up the client computer. So let's begin. In Server 2012, go to Server Manager, and then click on Add Roles and Features. Here, click on Next. Make sure that role-based or feature-based is selected. Click on Next. Here, select the local server where you wish to install the VPN, and Next. Now, select Remote Access Role and click on Add Features. Next here. I'm not going to install any additional features, so click on Next. And now click on the More link where it says Configuration Required for Direct Access and VPN. And from this window, click on Open the Getting Started wizard. Now here, click on Deploy VPN Only. This will bring up the Routing and Remote Access MMC. So now right click on the server and select Configure and Enable Routing and Remote Access. Click next to the wizard, and here select Custom Configuration. Next. And here select VPN Access and click on Next. Finish the wizard, and this will tell you that the firewall is not configured. We're gonna get to that in a second. So all you need to do here is just click on OK, everything is fine, and then start service. Perfect. Now my routing and remote access is properly configured. Now right click on the server and click on Properties. Now select the IP version 4 tab, and here you can select your static address pool if you like. I'm going to leave this dynamic, which I don't recommend by the way, but for tutorial purposes. I'm going to close here also, and now I'm going to Active Directory users and computers by going to Tools and Active Directory. Now here I'm going to select the user that is going to connect via the VPN by going to the users, or a specific user that I created in the sales department OU here, which is me. So right click, Properties, and now click on the Dial In tab, and this is very important by the way. and check mark or check allow access. Apply to save the settings. OK. Perfect. Now we're done with the server. Now we need to configure the firewall. So I'm going to close here. Close here too. And now click on the Windows key in the keyboard and type firewall. Make sure the app settings is selected. And now select allow an app throughout a firewall. This is the local Windows firewall. But believe it or not, you need to enable routing and remote access here. So select that and now check mark private and public. Perfect. Now click on OK. Now we need to configure the router to enable us to connect via VPN to the server. So open the Internet Explorer and type the IP address of your gateway. I'm using a Linksys router, so it's 192.168.1.1. Here type your login credentials. Okay. Oh my god. Add this, add, close. Perfect.